my friend, do you have troubles? Is your website just a white screen? Are your forms not working? Do you need some help? Oh yeah. Oh, you need a plug-in, maybe a dev. We're solving all your WordPress blues on WP Blab. Woo!
That's right, folks. We are getting started here. Everyone's telling the little bird, and we're hitting the go button. So, Bridget, how's it going?
It's going great. How's it going, Jason?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. As you notice, I changed things up a little bit there. People know who we are now at this point. We don't need to go all crazy.
Yeah.
We tend to talk for about 4 hours on this thing anyhow, so we might as well.
And if they don't know, they can Google it.
Exactly.
Google me. I'm the first 20 pages of Bridget Willard.
It makes you think, did Bridget change her name to just the perfect name that's just for Twitter and just for Google?
No,
Bridget, what was your name before this?
It's a volume game.
It's a volume game? No, I'm just joking. Oh, man.
No, but seriously, it's about volume.
It is totally about volume. It's me and a football player from Canada. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a black dude, so we don't look alike. Oh, man.
Nice job, Captain Obvious.
It's totally true, but, you go on Wikipedia, like, wow, Jason Tucker has a Wikipedia. That's pretty awesome. And you're like, no, this guy's from Canada, and he plays football.
So I went to my first WordPress meetup ever.
You sure did.
This week.
And I feel so dumb. I mean, we didn't get a selfie out of it. I even have a stick for such selfie. I
freaked out. I was so mad at myself for being late and then showing up with everybody looking at me. I was like 7th grade all over again. And I was just like, oh my God, I showed up so late. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I care.
Yeah. Well,
and then I was like, when it was over, I just wanted to leave. Give me my Girl Scout cookies. I'm out of here.
Oh, man.
Also, I didn't know where the bathroom was.
Well,
these are the things that matter.
These are the things that matter.
But it was interesting to see a lot of the questions we see on WP Blab were in the meetup. So I go, Blab is like a WordPress meetup without the commute.
Yep. I'd have to agree.
Beverage.
I'd have to agree. Actually, if you do go to the one that's in Orange County, there are adult beverages there. From what I hear, they're provided by Pagely.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice of them.
Very nice of them.
That was a cool group. I enjoyed it. I just freaked myself out being late. I don't like being late.
I think I've been going there for like 5 or 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 4 years, 5 years? I don't know. 5 years, I want to say.
Yeah, cool.
It might be longer. The aging expert just arrived. I'm thinking, like, So here's how this works. For those of you that have not watched this before, this is WP Blab. I am a WordPress web developer. I work for a nonprofit. I take care of all of their WordPressy needs. I also take care of all their IT stuff. Bridget, on the other hand, is my polar opposite. Bridget is a newbie. She's also a Twitter nerd, and she absolutely loves doing social media stuff. So make sure you follow her. You too can be guru on Twitter. I'm Jason Tucker on Twitter. And follow us on all of those things. I'll have some links in our show notes. So if you go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com/WPblab, you can take a look at all the stuff that's there and check out the links and all the stuff. There's also links if you find our pictures and click on our pictures. It'll take you to a Gravatar. If you're not familiar with Gravatars are kind of like the like your Facebook profile for WordPress. So the idea is that you can put all of your stuff on there, links to your things. You can put photos, and I even have like photos from like WordCamps and stuff on there where I've taken selfies with people. So you can go and do that and go check those things out. I'd imagine at some point Bridget will probably end up doing even more than that with her Gravatar, because now that she knows that it exists, she's one of those people that just loves to jump in there and just go crazy.
Well, my Gravatar profile is filled out. That's
well,
one
then
thing
awesome.
Social media people get is we fill out our profiles.
True.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for the applause. And as somebody who is starting to help WordCamps with tweeting, I remember when I did LA, I was trying to follow all the people that bought tickets. And so the only way you know is if you go look at their Gravatar. Y'all aren't filling out your Gravatar profiles.
You're like, this is the equivalent of like the bird on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You know, you look at them and you're like, wow, dude.
They're
like,
an egg.
You totally didn't take the time. Well, I need to update this photo.
Profiles do matter, Robyn's World. Thank you. And they're indexed by Google. I don't know if Gravatars are, but Twitter, Facebook pages, all indexed by Google.
There's mine.
Nice.
And I will tell you, so what's weird is that I chose to use one name on WordPress, and I started making plugins, I started making themes, I started doing all this stuff, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, I didn't pick Jason Tucker.
So who is that? How do you say that?
That's Abstract One. Jason Tucker, I think.
Abstract.
Yeah, I think Jason Tucker is also mine as well. I just don't have anything on there, so maybe I should, like, I don't know, do both or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of those things is that when you set these types of stuff up, you got to make sure you pick the right thing. And it's going to be your name. And it's going to be the name that you're going to use, because at some point here, you're going to be logging into your Jetpack account. You're going to be logging into all this stuff, and all those things are tied to this one account.
Yep. And favoriting, which I learned from you, favoriting your plugins so you can find them again.
Exactly.
Super important, people.
Oh yeah.
Best thing I ever learned.
I just realized I left the door open.
That's okay.
My dogs are jumping around, going all crazy. So let's see.
Somebody already updated their Gravatar. Good job.
Nice. Awesome. Well, make sure you throw a link in here, because it'll show up in our show notes and it'll give you a little bit of an SEO bump. Why not?
Bump.
So how this show works is you go over to the chat over on the right-hand side of the screen. You go down to the very bottom where it says send a message. You type in the slash, which is the slash that's over to the right-hand side of that little chat window there, and then type in Q, and then type in your question. And then we will click on the questions, and they'll show up on the screen, and we'll read them, and then you will get an answer, hopefully. So that's how that works. So if you have any questions, make sure you do it that way. If not, a lot of the chatter just kind of flies by and we don't get to see anything. Folks, just want to let you know we're at 38 people watching this. Good job for clicking on that Twitter button over on the far left-hand side. Yeah, and at some point here, I'm going to start sounding like I'm selling ShamWows or something.
Can we have 40? Can I have 40? How about 42?
Exactly.
Can I have pledges to watch on YouTube?
Right.
We watch today. We share today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you in the back. I see you. Thank you for the applause.
So before we go all crazy in, look, we might as well answer this question. Robyn wants to know, like, how do you find your Gravatar link? And so finding your Gravatar link depends. So you can look on gravatar.com and then log in with your email address. Now, what's interesting about gravatar.com, if you've never been there, is that gravatar.com is very similar, and I think they did this before LinkedIn, if I remember right. They're one of these websites where the username is any of your email addresses. It's not just one email address. It's actually any of your email addresses. So because of that, it makes it really easy for you to be able to log in, because you just type in your email address, any of them that's on record, and you'll be able to get in there. Now, what's nifty about this is any website who has a comment section on the site that has a way of you logging in using your Gravatar, or it asks you for your email address,
right? That
email address gets associated with your Gravatar. So what happens is your email address gets kind of, let's say, obfuscated. It gets kind of encrypted in some way. And then it gets sent over to Gravatar and says, hey, Gravatar, is gravatar.com/blah, blah, 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 blah. what's their photo? And it displays the photo. I stole that from you.
I totally have a bad influence.
And then what happens is the photo shows up and you're like, ta-da, that's it. So if you go over to gravatar.com, it'll probably redirect you over to the English version of it if you speak English and your browser set that way. And it'll show you a picture of Matt, and it'll show you his profile, and that's exactly what your profile will end up looking like. There's some cool stuff, and maybe we'll get into this, especially with Jetpack and stuff like that, where you can turn on some neat little things that are called, I think they're Gravatar tabs or Gravatar cards. Yeah, we'll get into that and just hover cards. There you go.
Sometimes they're on sites like WPwatercooler. When you hover over them, it will show a little box, and then you can click from there.
Well, Bridget, that's because we have skills.
We got some mad skills, yo.
Yeah, we have 900 plugins turned on that site, and it does all sorts of
plugins. I got 900 plugins, and none of them's my problem.
So that's how Gravatars work. Make sure you go and update that. If you're somebody who's going to be speaking at a WordPress event, they'll, like Bridget was saying, they're going to show up on there, and you don't want a G, that upside down looking G. You don't want that as your Gravatar.
Or a monster.
Like, wow, I'm so glad that you are one of these people that knows how to use WordPress. But dude, you haven't updated your Gravatar.
Right. It's kind of bad for your street cred. Also, if you're commenting on other blogs, it looks kind of crappy. So
it does.
That's just the non-PC way to say it.
It's totally
looks like
true.
crap.
So make sure you do that.
Take 10 minutes, fill out your Gravatar, comment on blogs, get some links back to your own, and world peace. So that was a good question.
What's interesting,
I like that one.
The Gravatar thing is if you had a WordPress.com site, you most likely have a Gravatar now, and you don't even know it because you have an account. So that account gets tied. They all get kind of tied together and stuff. So if you wanted to, if you're the coding type, or maybe you're somebody who thinks you're a coder and you want to like learn a little more about it, they have an implementation page which kind of describes that that hash or that obfuscation, that kind of way of it encrypting the email address and sending it over to Gravatar. So you can kind of take a look at that and see how that works. It's cool stuff. And it's not a WordPress thing. It's not just a WordPress thing. It's made for all sorts of stuff, and it's made by Automatic, and they're the ones that kind of host it and do everything.
Yeah, and I like that you can have multiple emails for your different blogs and personalities, and then you can have different photos that are associated with those.
Yeah, so if you have a cat blog, and you always post on the cat blog, you want to make sure you have your cat showing up as your avatar,
or you as a cat with your cat in your lap. Or
catception.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm a cat person, but I'm not a cat blog person. Oh man. Okay.
Alrighty. Here, I'll answer the next easy one here.
Yeah, that's easy.
Question is, how often do we do this?
Ooh, Mr. Cotter.
Do it. What do you got?
Every Thursday at 7:30 Pacific.
Yep.
I like the easy ones.
Why is it 7:30? Why is it 7:30?
Because we have jobs. That's what I told Adam Fout this morning when he interviewed me on the Hangout. He goes, "Why is it so dang late?" Because we have jobs. That's
why 7:30? Can't it be 7 o'clock? What about 7:15? What's wrong with 7:15?
Clearly, it's also a good time for our friends down under.
This is true.
Yeah, and usually we get Darth Maul from New Zealand.
His name is not Darth Maul. Ooh, it's awesome.
Well, I remember part of it. Hey, we got 42.
Yes.
Let's distract from 42 is the meaning of life. Driving Mall. I should know his Twitter by heart. I feel really bad. Oh man.
Somebody needs to go on Twitter. Somebody needs to go on Twitter. They need to say that Bridget called him Darth Maul.
Hey, it was at least a science fiction reference. You gotta be proud of me for that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
The other thing is the questions thing over on the right hand side. That's cool and all, but you know what's really cool about it is if you want to just ask the question, you can hop into the open seat. So how does the open seat work? If you're totally new to Blab, I get it. What you do is you move your mouse over onto the open seat link. You click on the link with the left mouse button. And then after that, it'll ask you, do you want to join? You join, and ta-da, you're in. Then you can answer your question. You can get the heck out real quick because you're, freaked out. Yup. Oh.
Right. First timer.
First time caller, long time listener for the last 5 minutes. Right?
Our first victim.
All right. So, you guys, I don't have all my lights on. I'm sorry.
No, but I like your background, so you get extra point.
Thank you. Yeah. I do blab a lot.
Okay, kindred spirit.
Yes. So my question is, I'm going to type in my URL over here on the side. And so I changed domains recently, and I changed themes. Okay. What a pain in the butt. Anyway, I'm keeping it PG. I don't know how you guys are. So, but I have this giant space underneath my header image. And so that's the red waves light. It's one of the WordPress, default themes or whatever. Sure. And I cannot figure out, because I can do social media all day long. I cannot do CSS all day long.
I hear you, my sister.
Thank you. And so I got it to change a little bit. I got it to be centered and bigger. It was very small over to the left to start with. I got that, but it's that space is making me crazy.
Well,
any suggestions?
So that's over at
that link doesn't work.
Yeah, was that robinsworld.com?
No, it's Robyn. Oh, I'm sorry. I typed in the wrong one. You're right. That's my name.
But secondly, every theme has its own featured image size.
I know.
So if you changed your theme and you didn't redo your image.
I put a new image in. Okay. So there's the right one, robins.world. That's the right URL. Sorry.
It's cool.
Thank you. So that image that has the little, symbol and then my name and, some little tag words, that is actually much larger in real life, the file size that I uploaded. And it's got, do you see that gap underneath?
Yeah, well, Jacob Areola, front-end developer at Zeek Interactive, just said that there's an extra div in there. Div class header or something, area wrap div. It's empty.
Jacob, I don't know what that means, Jacob.
Neither do I, but I believe that he's correct, because I would believe
Jacob. Yeah, he probably is, but I don't know what that means.
I don't know how you can fix it, a real person.
So do you by chance use Jetpack?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jetpack has, let's see here.
I'm going into my dashboard right now as we talk.
Yeah, no problem. So what you want to do, go into Jetpack and then go over to, you want to enable a new Jetpack module called Custom CSS.
Yeah, it's already enabled.
Awesome. So if you look over, let's see here, where was it? Yeah, if you look over where in the chat here, Grant put in some CSS code where it says header _ area is display none. If you copy that.
Okay, so I see div class header area wrap.
It's lower than that. It's the one from Grant Drip.
Header area display none.
Oh, well, wait, Jacob's saying that won't work. All right, Jacob, make it happen, dude. Come on.
Come in the seat and just tell me, Jacob.
I know.
Okay, Jacob's saying that it will work.
Sure, of course, Jonathan. It is a good idea.
We like cowboy coding, Jonathan.
Dude, this is not
a desktop server or anything.
This is not going to break anything. Listen,
the title of the blab was WordPress theme change and stuff. That's me, and so I'm trying to figure it out because, like I said, I've been doing this particular blog I've had since 2008, so I'm not like a total newbie, right?
Yep.
But I don't mess around with CSS.
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, this looks like it'll be a pretty easy one to...
I am nuts, Jonathan. It's all right.
He is a kind of a card, and I would say that he's probably teasing you. It's in love.
I know. I'm taking it as teasing.
Okay.
And I'm totally good with it. Trust me. I am not an angry blabber.
Okay, good.
I know there.
Like you.
Bridget, there's angry blabbers out there, right?
Forget that.
Assign a menu in her mobile menu. I haven't even got to the mobile part.
Oh boy!
It's supposed. I know.
Is it your you didn't pick a responsive theme?
Red Waves Light is supposed to be responsive theme, but I may have screwed something up myself messing with this whole header crap.
So Jacob runs a Fiverr.com that he will do this for you for about $500.
Wait, I thought it was
kind of Fiverr.
I'm just joking. I am just joking. Oh no.
Jacob really do stuff on Fiverr and he can go in and fix stuff for me?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
I was just making
joking.
fun of him. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah. So if you just paste that into the CSS field in there in Jetpack and then save it.
Which one? Tell
It's
me
the one
which
that's called custom CSS.
No. Which code?
Oh, the one that we put into the chat. I'll put it in the chat again so you can.
Yeah, because there was a few of them. Okay, the header area display equals none.
Just copy that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then paste it in there.
All right, hold on.
Wow, if it really works live, that's going to be the coolest thing ever. This is like GitHub video version, right?
They're so funny.
Well, I'm more like you than I am like them, so I really love this. This is my favorite episode already.
All right, awesome. All right, I got to find the right place to put it here. Hold on. Design and layout, custom archives, or custom CSS. All right.
I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm waiting
to refresh our browser.
Oh my god, I think it works because the preview worked right.
Okay.
Nice.
Go check it again, guys.
Okay.
Robyn's World.
Oh, that is so cool.
Awesome.
You just changed somebody's life. Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you so much.
That is so cool. Thanks for coming on, Robyn. You made our show.
Welcome. You guys, listen. This is what, so I blab hop a lot. I'm going to just say this, then I'm going to jump out. I blab hop a lot. I do my own shows a lot. I'm on here a lot. Okay. And I love the title because I've been struggling with the stupid changeover and everything. I bought a theme and it just pissed me off to no end. So I went to this Red Wave Light and I like it and all that kind of cool stuff. But that's why I came in, because I've been struggling with this. There's a lot of other struggles, but that was my biggie for today. But I liked the banter you guys had going on.
Yeah.
At the beginning and stuff. You guys are fun.
Aww.
And please, I posted my link up there earlier. I've got a live social events calendar on my blog.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's for blabs, Twitter chats, whatever. Please submit your info about when you guys are doing the show on a regular basis, and I will add it to my calendar that's public for everyone to see.
Cool.
Awesome.
You guys rock.
Thursday at 7:30 Pacific.
I know, but you can't just tell me. I forget. I'm old. I don't remember this stuff. Oh my god. I'm trying to figure out my new blog. Right. Anyway. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, Robyn.
I'm gonna listen still for a while. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome.
How cool is that?
Boom.
Man?
That's it. That's all you need right there, right? You just ask the question and we will provide the answer. Now, I can't guarantee you that we can fix something every single time.
Oh, that was so cool.
But I can guarantee you that we will definitely have some laughs.
Hey, we got a question from Altered. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. Let's see here. The question is, best directory plugin for show listings. Ooh, for show listings.
Is that like an event show or?
Yeah. What are we talking about here? Okay. Did you want to hop in the video chat? Awesome.
That's better.
Sweet.
I know somebody at WordCamp San Diego was doing this, but I can't remember what they're called.
Looks like we're getting a little bit of echo too. Do you by chance have headphones?
Yes. Give me a second.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're like totally watching Blab, and then all of a sudden you want to be on it. Then you're like totally unprepared.
Yep, exactly.
It happened to me earlier.
I kicked you out for just a half second. Make sure you jump back in. It's no problem at all. So, yeah, there's some cool ways to do this. There's definitely some cool ways to do this. I'm trying to think of what would be like. It depends, if it's something where
you have to buy tickets.
Yeah,
that would be way different, right? That'd be more like a e-commerce ish.
Yeah.
Man, who was it? No, it was WordCamp Orange County. Oh, what was their name?
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
Hi, Raz.
hey, how's
Is
it
that,
going?
is that how you say it?
Just Raz or Raz, whatever.
Raz.
Awesome. So your questions regarding show listings, are these for, is this like TV? Is this movies? Is this theater?
Okay,
What are you talking about?
The company that I work for, we have shows that happen like they're crafts shows, right? So they happen all over the United States. They happen in every state. So I would say that's most of the stuff. It's a combination. So we have paid listings and free listings. So the free listings contain just the name of the show, the date, and the location, and the paid one would contain like a link to their website, their contact information, and so on and so forth. So most of the stuff that the company that I work for used to do with was made in Joomla. So now I'm the developer that's moving the website from Joomla to WordPress. So I'm trying to find a WordPress solution that would do the same that Joomla used to do. So
Okay. Yeah, I remember there's a few. One of them was by a company called Timely. And I'm trying to see if they do a component where you can sell your listings. Because if that's the case, then that'd be sweet. I wonder if WooCommerce has one. Let's see here. WooCommerce calendar.
that'll be sweet too, because I'm actually planning. I have another website that it's done in Magento that I want to like port to WordPress WooCommerce.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the one that I've used in the past, but it was for selling tickets. So was by the events calendar, the guys over at Modern Tribe. I'm wondering if they do a thing where you can sell tickets or not sell, but sell spots in the calendar. Because if that was the case, then that would be pretty awesome, because their calendar system is actually pretty nice. I'm just wondering if it lets you do that type of thing. Let's see here. There's venue stuff. I don't know. This one might be one to look at, but I'm not entirely sure if it's exactly what we're thinking about here. Mainly what you're trying to do is kind of, it's almost like booking in a way, but
Right.
with booking, what you're dealing with is, it's almost like if you're somebody who was trying to run like a grooming salon or something like that, and they needed to book so many seats, or if you ran like a tutoring company or something, and you wanted to, be able to show up at their house and do tutoring or something. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, or
is it just a listing, like in the Penny Saver, where
I think it's more like a
they
listing,
pay to
yeah,
be listed?
yeah.
Because
So basically, what they need to do is the ability to be able to submit the shows themselves, but then I can take care of the rest. I can take care of like doing the assigning them to, and
so Jason, wouldn't it be like a kind of an e-commerce? You pay me $10, and then you get to go to a Gravity form, and then they fill out the event listing, and then somehow that gets in some kind of custom post type, blah 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 blah, and then Raz can make it happen.
Yeah, like John. No, it's true. No, because I mean, you could build all that. If you're saying you're the developer on this, then building all of that using a custom post type, applying a date to that custom post type, that might be the way to go. Jonathan in the chat is talking about Event Espresso, and I use Event Espresso for my other show, WPwatercooler. And Event Espresso is more for selling tickets to an event. Where Jonathan, you may have something else here, but I think that's kind of the way that that's being used. I don't think they do a thing where they can sell an event like an ad listing.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
People pay
Yeah,
you and
exactly.
then put their listing up. It's not about tickets.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not about tickets. We don't sell
Okay.
anything actually on the website. Yeah.
So there's this one's a little old, but this one might be at least something to start out with.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the thing is mainly the date piece. You just you need to be able to display the date. So Jacob in the chat is talking about like a business directory plugin, something like that might work.
That's the one
So
that
if you
I
take-
just was looking at today. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing with that is you'd have to add like a custom meta field that would tie into the date. Yeah, advanced custom fields would work for something like that. So if you've ever used advanced custom fields, it's a pretty great plugin for adding additional fields into posts or custom post types, which is probably what that business directory is going to end up using as a custom post type.
Right.
See, Bridget answered this whole question. She just doesn't know it.
Hey, I pay attention. Just because I think that in theory that will work doesn't mean that I could do it tomorrow. But I know that you guys really like the gravity forms.
Yeah, gravity forms is great.
That seems to be a really good way to get somebody else to give you information without them being anywhere near your dashboard. And that sounds good to me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably this and advanced custom fields and tying those two together, and then using advanced custom fields. You would add a field that's for the date, so the person's buying that date, and then have the date listed out that way.
Right. Cool.
So you'd have to build some type of calendaring piece. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
Yep.
Thanks.
How fun. That was a different question. That was a really different question. Because you would have to pay before you could get the form. That's what I was thinking.
Right. But then what you want to do is you want everything to just automatically happen. Where if you use gravity forms would have to somehow they would have to pay for it and then have it go into a post. So I guess you could do that.
Yeah, but you could set it as pending review.
Yep. And then the person just says, "Yeah, let's make them list," and you're good to go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy form fields.
Man, that root beer is awesome. Awesome root beer. So
I did send you a question that we got from Twitter a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah?
I sent it to your Jason Tucker Twitter.
Oh.
Because it was so long ago, it got buried in the Ask WP Blab.
This computer is so new that I don't even have Twitter.
What? Get out of town.
I installed CabTwist. I installed Loopback, which is the software that we use to get the audio to play, and that was it. So let me pull it up real quick. Was it a mention or was it a?
Blah, blah, blah. Let me see what I did. I'll just find it and put it in the. There. It was from Adam Thompson, NZ.
Oh, okay.
His latest conundrum was, what's a good plugin for to bill his clients monthly and or annually? I'll put /Q and then I'll put the
So the best one, So I would, personally, I wouldn't use WordPress for this. Really, WordPress can do a ton of stuff, but there are plenty of great plugins or programs that are out there to do this sort of thing. When I say program, I'm actually saying website. The one I use is FreshBooks. And FreshBooks is great because you can just put in the information in there, hit the go button. It shoots off a message to the person saying, "Hey, pay me." And then they can pay from, a whole bunch of different ways. It was actually a topic that we had during our during the meetup was that too.
Yeah.
There's also another one called Harvest. Harvest is really great. You can take a look at that one. I think that's just harvest.com if I remember correctly. Or Get Harvest. That's it. So you can go check out Get Harvest. Their stuff does it. What I like about these ones is that it's more than just like Robyn's saying, PayPal. what I like about these things is it's not tied directly to the method in which they're going to pay me. Like when I use something like FreshBooks, I use Stripe. So Stripe ties into FreshBooks. So I don't pay Stripe anything. Stripe's free. They just sit there. But when money flows through Stripe, that's when they take their cut, which is,
Right.
I get it. It's fine by me.
That's normal with every payment gateway.
Right. But what I like about them is that, about this thing is at some point, let's say Stripe sucks. You know, it's just, it's having a bad week. I can just go in there and switch it and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to use PayPal Pro now. And I can start using PayPal Pro. So that's what I like about that is that kind of integration where I'm removed from the banking system piece. Yeah. And what else is nice about these is that it does other things like you can do expense reports with it, and you can do invoicing with it, and you can do estimates with it. It's all the accounting type stuff. Yeah,
you need accounting.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna do your taxes.
Yep, exactly. And what's nice about it is it's totally free if you're one person and you have 4 clients and you have 2 projects over at Harvest. I don't know how much the one over at FreshBooks is, but I'll gladly pay them whatever. they're just great.
Well, it's cheaper than Quicken, right?
Yeah, it is cheaper than Quicken. And the other thing is you can output the reports to whatever format that your accountant needs, and you can even have them log into it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much the thing is, but you can go on their website and go check that out. So that's freshbooks.com and also Get Harvest. Looks like Jonathan likes Sprout Apps. So take a look at those 3 and let us know how it works out for you. The happy
51. It's 51 altered.
The happy goal is
52.
The happy goal is 50.
Oh, there you go.
The exciting goal is 75. So here's the deal, folks. We're going to turn this into a telethon right now. Go over to the left-hand side, click on the tweet button, and tell everybody. And then if you want to just tell your mom and your dad and your grandpa and whatever, click on the Facebook button, and then tell all those people too. And then they'll all show up here, and we hit 75, and I'll be super duper happy.
Yeah. That's a good question from Robyn's World about those statistics. Is that 52 people total, or 52 people now, or 52 people from past, present, and future?
Those are 52 total views, and 14 people are currently watching.
Oh, interesting.
Says the thing when you click it.
Oh, duh. I'm smart. I promise. I promise I'm smart.
Are you sure you're drinking some root beer over there?
I never see. I've learned from being in WordPress a little bit to not just click stuff.
It's true.
A little bit of fear is a good thing if you're not desktop server. Just kidding.
So the 14 folks that are out there, if you want to ask a question, feel free to jump into the hot seat here, or just ask your question over on the left or the right-hand side there and click on everything. Yeah, click on everything.
Click all the things.
I'm just not going to click on the pause button because that'll make the video stop. So, Bridget, what type of stuff have you been working on lately? Is there any projects that you've been doing or anything that you've been involved in or anything like that?
That I'm allowed to divulge.
Like personal stuff, or are you building something on your website? Have you written any blog
I'm
posts?
still working on my own website, which I haven't touched in a couple of weeks. I have 2 websites of my own, plus our nonprofit has a website. And I was working on installing Give on Saturday.
Nice. Which
is the one cool thing about Give, and I know this is super self-promotional because I work for them.
Look, somebody has to pay the bills, okay?
Give is a free donation plugin. You can use it for crowdfunding. You can use it for nonprofits, and the core of it is free. You can use it with PayPal or take offsite donations. And the website is givewp.com. And this week they came out with recurring donations, which is very exciting.
So exciting.
Or last week, I can't remember now. It's all a big blur. But we're out. Recurring donations increases your donations by about 42%. And there was just a post that Jason Canil put out. What kind of,
Is that the one I sent you?
No, laying out the difference between GoFundMe and Give.
Yeah,
And
don't use GoFundMe for this type of stuff.
yeah, you'll lose money. And he did the math. It's pretty compelling. Anyway, so we have a nonprofit. It's called pardonprodigals.com, and I am the webmaster of that. So be kind if you go look at it. That was some free pro bono work. And anyway, so my husband wanted to install it. It's not totally finished yet because, bureaucracy. We have to ask for permission from everybody to spend some money.
Yeah.
Because I want recurring donations on it.
Heck yeah, that's the way to make it happen.
The Stripe payment gateway, which my friend Jason Tucker talked me into.
Good stuff.
I didn't realize that Stripe charges you $0, and PayPal Pro, which you need to take on. If you want on your site donations so that they don't have to leave and go to PayPal, then you need to have PayPal Pro and that payment gateway add-on.
Yep.
So that's $30 a month, even if you get no money. Yeah. And they're both 2.9%, 30 cents. So it makes no sense to not use Stripe. Anyway, so that was good advice.
Yeah, back in the day, Stripe used to be, it would take 7 days for the money to hit the account. Now it's not like that anymore.
No, it's like 2 days or something.
Yeah, if you're having that much trouble, then
what's Did we lose you? Just me. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
So that was fun because I got to play around with our own plugin, and I really like how it, when you install Give, it makes your thank you page, your donor page, your receipt, your email receipt, and it makes all that for you right away. And all you have to do is go customize it. Like, I can even put a food gallery in my thank you page, so that, and then you can put like a little short code donation form, like in the sidebar, and you can make like a specific donation form just for several. You can make like as many donation forms as you want to, and then you can customize the little buttons and stuff. So for I had fun just messing around with that. That's kind of what I was working on. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people where they'll do a couple different versions of the same form, but they'll do one that's like, it's like first, like bare minimum that you need and money amount and recurring or not, and boom, that's it.
Yeah.
Then they'll have one that's like, it's more of a landing page that's made for a specific campaign that they're doing, and they'll get people to come into it, and it's like, you know what, these people are already going to give, so I'm just going to go spend more time and set this up, and I'll ask all the particulars. Maybe I want to know where they found us and what they're doing and whatever else. It's funny that you mentioned the nonprofit thing, because I'm actually this might be something that you might want to get involved in with me. Is I'm actually starting some type of and I don't know how this is going to work just yet, which is why I said some type of, but I'm working on a thing that's going to be a technology component to nonprofits and churches. So a way so that people can learn about the technology that's out there, and then be able to interact with developers, designers, technical people, non-technical people, people that are social media people that do audio, video, the whole thing, and make it so that they all show up to a meetup, if you will, and allow people to talk about the various things that they could do for their nonprofit. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of like a WordPress meetup, but just for nonprofits.
For nonprofits, I think that's amazing.
Yep. So I'm going to be.
I definitely want to know about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I don't have a name for it. I don't have anything for it just yet. This is like very, very in the beginning workings of it over the last couple weeks.
Neighborhood.
Yep.
But one of my friends, Adam Fout from Blue Steel Solution, was like, he said, I had this friend named Tom.
Yeah.
And he got in a motorcycle accident. So now he's in a wheelchair, and he really needs a special van, so he can, work and stuff. And he goes, "Can you use Give for that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can," because people don't realize you can use it to crowdfund. And so he brought it to Heather Steele, and they built a website, wheelsfortom.com.
Nice.
THOM, wheelsforthom.com. And they already raised $3,000 in 1 week. So he's like
Wow.
10% of his bill because the van costs $37,500. It's
Crazy.
very expensive to have a van where the driving controls and stuff are on,
Yeah.
the steering column,
Mhm.
plus the ramp and those kinds of things. So
Wow.
yeah, it's really inspiring to me. This is one of my favorite parts about working in this part of with WordPress.
Yeah.
Is we're publishing these stories. So I'm finding these nonprofits and these organizations just doing amazing things.
Yep.
And they don't wait for people to ask them permission. They don't just sit around and go, oh, well, that's really too bad. Too bad you can't get an Uber to always take you around somewhere or something, They just did something. And it's really amazing to, it just restores your faith in humanity to see so many people just, going forward. And, our little plugin helps them do that. It's just empowering. Their slogan is democratizing generosity.
Right.
But to me, I see it more as empowering because anybody can do it,
Yeah.
Website, SSL certificate, boom, just go. You're done.
At some point here, that SSL certificate is no longer going to be a barrier to entry.
I hope you're so right.
Yeah, I mean, they're for someone who.
It's my problem right now.
I'm someone that has to install SSL certificates either every year if we, only have so much funds to work with, or every 3 or 5 years, depending on how far I can get out that SSL certificate. And I hate it because I'm not installing it on websites. I'm installing it on janky, hardware, server hardware, and networking stuff, and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, the Let's Encrypt stuff. That's the stuff that we're waiting to have happen. But it's
I thought that I could just do that because somebody said, "Oh, I just did that."
Right.
And I went to Let's Encrypt. I'm like, "What is this GitHub ridiculousness? I can't do that." Bridget, not a server person, but I like the idea of it. If it was a plugin that you could just say activate, then I could do it.
Right.
Yeah. BPS. I'm not. Yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah. See, this is
super excited about that.
This is where like the developer and the user piece is so far away from one another. To spin up a VPS, it's no big deal. It only costs this and that, and then you set this up, and I got hacked because I didn't do updates. That's what happens. That's what would happen if Bridget did that. So that's where it's like these things need to be built in such a way so that it makes it way easier for people to be able to spin these things up and have a good SSL secured HTTPS site that's ready to go.
This particular website that I'm talking about, pardonprodigals.com, is with iPower. So then I have to buy it because Matt Cromwell says in his documentation they recommend that you buy your SSL certificate from your host. And I heard SiteGround, which I wish I would have known this before, will give you a year SSL for free.
Oh,
but iPower is like $35 a month or something. So that's just another thing I need to get approval from.
Right.
Nonprofit boards and everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny when my friend Mark, or maybe it's our mutual friend Mark, from Desktop Server, or Server.
Oh yeah.
He did one of these campaigns using Give, and I went onto the site because I know Mark, and I looked at it and I was like, man, let's see how he set this up. And I'm looking for the PayPal button. I'm like, okay, where's the? Oh my gosh, he's using Give. Awesome. I was so happy at the fact that he didn't choose poorly. He chose the right way. And he went about it by using something that's made for this.
Yeah, actually one of our stories recently was Jesse Peterson. He's adopting a boy named Parker, or the baby. And they were going to use GoFundMe, but then there was a lot of trouble. And they used Give. They had their $12,000 like in 4 days.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's like the ease of the technology and then the power of the WordPress community.
Right.
Because the WordPress community is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about it and you're like, okay, whatever. But then you see these stories over and over and over again. People just rally behind people that they know, and then they're, it's just amazing. It's totally, like coming from a background of construction, everything's, everybody's always upset because something's not on time or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then, part of my job is just to read how people are changing the world.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of amazing. But today I just had to stop and wow, I feel like my heart is full.
Yeah.
It was really encouraging. So yeah, that's what I was working on. My husband wants me to use Give on our site, so we're going to do it. I'll tell you when it works for real, but it was just cool because it wasn't that hard for me to like go figure out all those emails and everything. There's a lot of steps, but it was like boom, boom, boom. I had it up. My biggest problem was now I don't like my theme again. So then I changed my theme back to 2015 or something. And I was like, well, I don't really like what I wrote here. So then I decided it's like when you're just looking for that one sweater that is in your closet. And then all of a sudden you're cleaning your closet.
Right.
This one little mission becomes a spring project. That's what I did. It's not supposed to take 3 hours. It took me like 10 minutes to set up Give.
Mm-hmm.
The rest was me rearranging the closet. So that's my own OCD.
Yeah.
Oh, good. More questions. I can stop talking.
Yeah. So we got Jonathan had a question, and let me,
cool.
let me pull that up here. So Jonathan says, Google says about a year ago that non-HTTPS, which is the ones without the SSL certificate, we're going to see an SEO hit. Yeah. I get the impression that they have backed off from this position. What do you think about this? What do I think about it? Well, I think going SSL is good, and I think there's a lot of times where people don't realize that the things that they're putting into a particular website are going over clear text. So what clear text, what that kind of means to me, being the kind of the guy who runs our network, our Wi-Fi, all that sort of thing, is that let's say you're at Starbucks, and let's say maybe not even Starbucks. Maybe Starbucks has a little bit better of a security setup now, but you're at some mom and pop coffee shop. You're buying local, if you will. And what ends up happening is you hop on their Wi-Fi, and then there's some guy over in the corner there, and he's on the Wi-Fi as well. Well, he can actually sniff all the packets that are going over the network and see everything you're typing on that website.
No way.
Yep. So what happens is it makes it so that your internet connection gets routed through, out to the the Wi-Fi access point, and they're standing in the middle of it, and they're watching the traffic go by. So when they go to Bank of America or some other website that has SSL certificate, what ends up happening is it stops it and encrypts it, and then all you're seeing is the gobbledygook encrypted data going over the network. So with having an SSL certificate on your site, and not just sites that have just the areas on the site that are using like a form or something like that, you're actually protecting the entire website and the entire experience of being on the website, including the content that's on the site. So another good example of this is somebody who's in China, for instance. You got the Great Firewall of China there. And so what ends up happening on that side is that the person goes from their computer out to, say, like some website that the Chinese government doesn't want you to see. Well, they can block you from not being able to get to the website because of the domain name or whatever else. But let's say it's just some general, forum, and there's a section in that forum that's about, some type of Chinese something or other. Well, if the site is SSL secure all the way across, they're not seeing any of the stuff that's going on. So the content of the site isn't actually going over that connection there. So it's more of a protection thing for me. The idea of the SSL certificate for SEO purposes and stuff like that, I think once you start seeing these different companies coming out with ways of being able to generate that SSL cert, start seeing, it's like, come on, guy. This thing doesn't cost anything. Make it happen. And I'm hoping that people will jump on the bandwagon and really start using this. But tons of companies that are behind this, including Automatic, Facebook, Mozilla, the EFF,
Well, it'd be
There's
good if the host would just
SiteGround.
start doing it. I mean, the host is the one who's providing this almost, isn't
Right.
it?
Well, kind of. I mean, if the
It's
host
on
is
their
providing it,
machines.
yeah, if the host is providing it, then what ends up happening is it gives you an easier way of being able to generate that SSL certificate. So the ones from Let's Encrypt, if I remember right, it's like every 2 months or every, I don't remember how often it was, every 35 days or 65 days or something like that. It requires you to re-enlist for the certificate. Now it's super easy. You just run a little command line script to do it.
Command line script.
Yep. But what I'm saying here is it's easy for somebody to just do it.
Okay,
So,
somebody.
So you could go onto the website and click the thing saying, yes, make this thing happen. Grant's saying it's 3 months. So if I remember right, yeah, about 3 months. So then you're able to just regenerate that certificate. Well, it gets better because now they can just automate the thing. So for the entire time that you have hosting with them, you're able to get the certificate and just have it all automated, and it just kind of works and you're all good to go. So in terms of the SSL certificate for SEO purposes, I think once things get even like further down the road and people really want to have both the security as well as being able to have the site load faster with HTTPS or HTTP2 coming out and its requirements to have SSL. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you're going to have an SSL certificate, and it's going to have to be super duper easy to install. So, yeah, I think there. I don't think there's going to be a SEO hit per se, but I am not an SEO expert, and I don't sell that kind of services. So I don't know. My Hero Charlie in the chat, as well as a question, is asking if you can explain Give a little more. What I would suggest, since we've already kind of gone through that at length, is to go over to our website at WPwatercooler.com/WPblab. Take a look there. It won't show up until this video is finished recording because you're not watching a recording currently. You're actually watching it live. So, you can't look at the DVR until it's actually finished recording. So, yeah, go back to that site, go check it out, and you can watch us later. Let's see here. What else we got?
David Bell has a question.
Yeah. Should I teach clients the old way of updating posts and pages or the new Calypso way? So, first, let's define what the heck Calypso is. Bridget, do you know what Calypso is?
Calypso is a genre of music and a JavaScript-based app on your desktop that works for PC or Mac as an interface for your WP dashboard.
Now you're just throwing words in there. But yes, you're correct. That's exactly it.
Hey, those words work. So
it did.
I haven't tried it yet, but I know that's what it is.
I hate saying it depends, and it's kind of one of those words that always comes up for this stuff, but it kind of does depend, Dave. So it depends because if the user is doing, say, specific things that are in the dashboard that are made that are kind of not the norm, if there's a specific field that they need to fill out, or if there's a slider thing, or there's a whatever. If you haven't made those pages that are on the dashboard work with Calypso, then I'd say no, don't even do it. Because get them to start using the old-fashioned way, because the old-fashioned way is tried and true, and it just works. If they're just updating a blog post, Calypso, why not? So I don't know.
Is it visually that much easier?
I don't want to say it's easier. It's just
super different. I mean, they'll have to have that app on their computer.
Right. I don't know. It seems like a lot of, especially on the computers themselves, people are getting more and more used to using web interfaces for stuff, and they're not really jumping on the bandwagon of, oh, I have to have this special app that's running on my computer. because if I remember correctly, doesn't Twitter like not have an app for Windows?
I don't even
If
know.
I remember right, if I remember correctly, if not for the longest time, they didn't have a Twitter app for Windows, and it was more of these. It's one of these things where it's just like, you know what, they're going to use the website anyhow, so you know what, just go use the website.
Yeah, I don't. People use websites all day long. I feel like you can set users levels of I feel like this is a marketing problem. I'm just going to say this. I don't want to be like blasphemy or whatever, but I feel like if we can make people feel comfortable in the WP dashboard, like your class at San Diego last year.
Yep.
If you can be comfortable in the dashboard, then it's not daunting. And I would suggest teaching them how to feel comfortable on the dashboard by doing a dev install with desktop server, because excuse me, they're not going to break anything. Just have them just set up something for them to play around with and teach them how to post things using a local install with desktop server. You can just use the free one because it's just for them to learn. I mean, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you had like 10 MacBooks with desktop server installed, and you could go to like the Boys and Girls Club and teach, poor kids who are latchkey kids how to, change the world by writing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even have to. You could just show them that you can. But it's not. You don't even need the internet, because you can just do it there, and then when it's done, you can export it somewhere. You don't have to waste money on a domain and everything. You just learn how it works. Right. Back when I was a teacher, I taught. So this is a long time ago. I taught them how to use Publisher, how to make a newsletter. Yeah. Right. I just think it would be so cool, because I feel like people that aren't comfortable with the dashboard, once you hand over a website, once the developer hands over the website to the client, if the client isn't familiar enough with the dashboard, are they going to update core? Are they going to update plugins? Are they going to update themes? And if they're not going to do that, are they going to hire a maintenance company to do it? Are they going to pay for their licenses? Are they going to pay somebody else to put new content up? Because Google wants regular content. That's another SEO thing. They want you to post regular content. Who's in the back end or the front end or the front of the back end? I don't know. What is the dashboard? Is it front? Is it back? Is it the middle? Is it the parlor? Is it the hallway? The dashboard. I think that people need to be more familiar with it. Anyway.
Yep.
I feel like that's like you shouldn't make them feel afraid. Just limit, if it's the live site, maybe just limit their access as a user until they're more comfortable. So,
and that's where I kind of come into this whole idea of it depends, and it really just depends on how do you want this thing to how do you want this person to interact with the site. Bridget brought a good point in that you can set up different roles so these people just have access to just posts and just pages and nothing more,
or one of either.
Yeah, so you can limit this thing down to just the bare minimum, so they log in and they see that, and that's it. It's almost like a subscriber role, but with one additional feature, and I think that's a great way of saving them from themselves, because they're going to get in there and they're going to click on everything. The second they find out that there's a kitchen sink button, they're going to go, oh, look, it's like Microsoft Word. And then everything's going to have colors all over it. And you're like, oh, my goodness, what the heck? Mm-hmm. Crazy. Let's see here. What else do we got? So, Whimsical by Shelley. She states, I want to combine my existing WP blog with a business webpage I'm getting ready to build. Is there a good tutorial on making this seamless? Well, yes. I don't know if there's a good tutorial to explain it, but what you could probably do, and this is what I would suggest you do, is to take your existing website and port it over into your blog. So make everything kind of live under one umbrella, which is the main WordPress website. Now, if you have two different WordPress websites that are going on, or if you have a WordPress website and a Dreamweaver site or something like that, or you hand coded it from a long time ago, or you bought some whatever, then the idea is I would just get them all under one roof and make it happen. And there's plenty of ways to do it, and there's plenty of really great themes that will help you out with it. So I would do that.
That was my first WordPress experience, because I had a WordPress.com blog for the business, and I had a website in CSS. So what I did was I exported the XML file from WordPress.com, and then I imported it. I used desktop server, and then I just made the pages that needed to exist from before and copied and pasted, not the code, the text, because you don't need all that CSS because the theme already does that. So I don't know.
There's a section. There's a section in the dashboard that's for it's the reading section, if I remember correctly, and that's a section where you can specify which page is going to be your home page and which page is going to be your blog. And so if you create a page, just name it blog or something, and then set it to that, what ends up happening is a person can go to yourwebsite.com/blog, and the blog is there. And then if they just go to your website.com, they'll see just the home page, which you'd make another page called like home page or front page or something, and put all the content in there. And then you can make subsequent pages around it that would connect to those things. So that's the way I would go about it.
Or you can hire somebody. That's true too. It's a crap load of work, and Jonathan Denwood does do that. There's a lot of companies that do that, but it will cost you money because people eat. So just remember that too.
Well, I mean, she's saying that I want to know how to do it, but it's overwhelming. Yeah,
I'm serious. Then get desktop server. It's free. You could get the premium one, but you don't need it at first, and just start, because there's no reason why you can't just start, and it won't make you feel. What desktop server does is it installs all of the code that you need to run WordPress on your actual machine. So you're not going on the internet at all. It's not on the host, it's a local, you're like creating a local host or something. It's got PHP and blah, 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 Apache, something, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. So basically what happens is after you press go and blah, 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 then there's that it opens up in Safari or whatever. They have one for Windows too, or whatever. And then it looks like how it's going to look. So you could actually build it offline and mess around with it and not be afraid of cowboy coding like we were earlier in the show.
Yep.
I highly recommend desktop servers. When it's free, there's no reason why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Love Bridget.
And what's nice about that is you can totally break your site 10 times over, and you're still going to get business from your existing site. People are still going to be able to go to your existing site. They're not going to be like, what the heck did I just walk into? Because there's construction tape all over the place.
Yeah.
And orange cones and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. It's exactly what you should fear. But I think the thing is that you want to learn this stuff, and the only way you can learn it is to have a WordPress website set in there ready to go. And the only way you can really do it is by using something like desktop server, or buy another domain name and start up your own website that's just your personal site or something, and go play around in there. If you ever logged into my personal website, I probably have about 9,000 plugins, at least 3 or 4 dozen themes that are in there. I've paid for themes and never used them. And there's all sorts of stuff that's sitting inside that site. But that was my learning grounds. That's where I sat there and trained, and I learned how to do this stuff. And it's also a great way to figure out which themes work together with plugins and which plugins work with one another, and you don't break stuff. So yeah, go with one of those solutions and go check it out. Let's see here. Is it true Google places sites higher if you have Google Plus?
It used to be. Now they don't even display how many people follow you.
Huh? Really? Why is that?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Just
I think it has to do with the breakup of the Google Plus apps and stuff. I am probably the only person at the meetup I go to, the social media group I go to, that loves Google Plus. I feel like it, and Pam and marketing has said that it is the closest shortcut to SEO if there ever was one. So if you're on Google Plus and you post on Google Plus and you circle people and you interact and they end up plussing your things, it does help. It really does. So I would definitely post on your Google. I would have one. You should have a Google Places page anyway because of the maps.
right.
And people searching for you on maps, and they search based on voice too. So in their car.
Yep.
I mean, Google owns the game. So if there was ever back in the industrial age when they broke up Edison and all those people, and who else did they break up? Standard Oil. They went after Standard Oil big time. I mean, that they should do the same with Google. I mean, really, the truth is they own SEO. Raise your hand if you use Bing or Yahoo. Come on, nobody even uses that anymore.
I accidentally used Bing.
I accidentally used Bing.
Then I typed in Google, and then it took me to Google. So
oops, I did it again. So that's our. This isn't This Week in Organic. Mario, This Week in Organic is a really good blab show that talks about SEO, and you should definitely watch it. And this is about WordPress, and that was the extent of our collective knowledge. I think there's more questions. There's a question from Jacob. Earlier this week, Jason tweeted about Flexbox.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you right now, that particular post that I did, and I was looking in Feedly, as I do, and I found this post, and I was like, whoa, I love Flexbox. I want to learn more about Flexbox. So I went on the site, checked it out. I want to pull it up real quick here because it was actually one of the let's see if I can find it. One of the it's really easy for me to find. So if you look at this, see how the little graph up on the top has this little short thing right here, but this one down here has a whole bunch. This thing was shared like 75 times and liked like 53 times or something. That's not even my content, it was somebody else's content. I was like, oh, this is great. But it's understanding CSS Flexbox for clean, hack-free, responsive design. It's a great post. So make sure you go check that out. It's good stuff. So
Flexbox Froggy.
Flexbox Froggy. Ooh, that's cool. It lets you learn how to do.
I think I still have that saved for my Facebook stuff.
Yeah.
Like one day I'll actually learn CSS.
Well, learning Flexbox is well worth it because all of the issues that you typically have with CSS, Flexbox fixes it. Oh. It's like, I want to make this thing centered on the page and then centered on the page, like centered, dead center. There's
vertical
a way to do it.
And horizontal.
Yeah. I want to take 3 divs and stick them right next to each other. Boom, no problem.
Like
and then on top of it, like 3 columns, but just right next, like 3 columns right next to each other.
Maybe I should do that.
I want to do a grid, a whole bunch of them. You can do that. And then what's neat about it is when you go and make this site responsive, Flexbox is made for responsive. It's in its name, Flex. It's flexible. As you grow and shrink the thing, it grows and shrinks the content that's on there and makes it so that all, kind of lives within it. So awesome stuff. Go check it out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to build JavaScript apps, Grant, but thanks for the vote of confidence, buddy. Oh man.
You're totally gonna build a JavaScript app.
Yeah, when I'm
You are.
84.
Just get yourself a lynda.com account and then sit there and watch it like you'd watch Netflix, and you'll learn everything.
I think Roy Boy teaches it on lynda.com.
Let's see.
Oh, AMP. They were talking about that at the meetup, and I saw that on Moz that Google is giving preference to accelerated mobile pages, and then I was like, oh, well, what is that? And there's like a plugin called Accelerated Mobile Pages for WordPress, but I don't really get it. Do you know what it is?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at any of this stuff yet.
I know that there's a plugin, and I favorited it because I want to figure it out, and then it has to do with, if I remember correctly, it has to do with kind of like a markup or something, and explaining to Google what the most important things are.
Clint, did you want to jump in and talk about it a little bit? Because we'd love to have you come in and talk about it a little bit. So I have no flipping clue. I have a day job, and sometimes my day job has to do with not doing WordPress stuff. So there's that.
I'm gonna. I
remember about this. So the idea of this stuff is that it's kind of building the page in a way that's easier for mobile to ingest.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't looked too far into it.
This is the link to the free plugin.
Okay.
And it just says this plugin adds supports for accelerated mobile pages, which is an open source initiative that aims to provide mobile optimized content that can load instantly everywhere. With the plugin active, all posts on your site will have dynamically generated AMP compatible versions accessible by appending /AMP to the end of your permalinks.
Jacob, I totally agree with the shrug. I mean,
if Jacob is shrugging, the whole world shrugs.
Yeah, see,
it has to do with Google and them wanting to make people. It's all their little tricky things now, making SEO like way harder.
So it used to be that you had RSS, and it would show up on Google Reader, and everybody's like, "Yay, I can read your stuff on Google Reader." And then they're like, "Wait, we're not." Not a whole lot of people are seeing the ads that are on our site. Let's step back a little bit here. We wanted to make sure that we get the ads. So then they switch up to the next thing. So now this next thing is, having this accelerated mobile pages.
That's why I said.
So tell us a little bit about it. Oh, he left.
We lost him. I think he was in a food court anyway. So
yeah, really. So
this is not chat roulette, people.
No, it's not.
This is answering your WordPress questions.
So the interesting thing about this is the /AMP piece that it tries to put at the end of the permalinks. So that's what this plugin does, is it adds that, plus it kind of builds out the page the way it needs to in order to be able to see it. Interesting. I would totally, I definitely need to read up on this a little bit, because I run a few sites that use, they're listed in Google News, they're listed in Bing News. They get a lot of traffic through that stuff. And so you got to make sure that this stuff's going to work on the latest and greatest. And it sounds like this is definitely the latest and greatest.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a Whiteboard Friday from Moz. So there's the link.
Nice.
It tells you what you need to know. And either you can read it or you can actually watch the video, which I kind of like their Whiteboard Fridays. Because sometimes the video is like blah, 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 blah forever. And it'll take me 10 minutes to read it. Oh, look, there's Clint. Do you want to call in?
Clint.
Oh, he's an SEO guy. He should know the answer. Stump the host. Hi.
How you guys doing?
It's going good. So tell us a little bit about AMP.
So basically, as I understand it, what they're doing is they're like all of our sites, are using responsive designs and stuff. We're trying to make them faster, but we're trying to make them flashier and convert as well. What they've done is essentially take our web pages and strip out all the JavaScript, all that stuff. Anything that's not coded in the HTML itself, JavaScript, some schema lines, regular script, it's all being ripped right out. And so now you see nothing but the content and an image if you have it. So it's essentially like, think of the plainest site you've ever been to, and that's what your sites will look like now under the AMP thing.
Huh.
And I tried to implement it on my site, and it's like opt-in forms don't work with it. Social plugins don't work with it. So all the conversion points that you put on there are all ripped out. So essentially, if you're an information site, as I see it right now with the development of that plugin, if you're an information site, go ahead and try it. But if you're trying to convert visitors for anything, then you pretty much leave it alone. Or put a click to call button and maybe hope.
Yeah, so that means that these guys are, these different plugins and stuff that are out there that do forms or do any type of content being collected from the end user. They're just going to have to up their game, build stuff that's not as Ajax heavy or JavaScript heavy or any of that sort of thing. And it's just going to be like, here's my form, fill it out. And then maybe it'll get them over to the next page that isn't an AMP type generated site, and it's something that's, I don't know.
Does it make it look more like an answer box, Clint?
Well, I know I talked to Gravity Forms, and they have no intention right now of even trying to develop around it.
Wow.
Because it just doesn't make any sense for them. Aweber, I didn't try. I didn't rip out Aweber and put it on a page to see what it would do. So I guess you can test it if you want to try it out. I definitely, at this point, I wouldn't implement it on a money site, and I'd just be ready in case that we have to, the Google have to.
Right.
But right now, I think it's way too early for everyone saying, oh, it's going to be a ranking factor, blah, blah, blah. Well, speed on a mobile device is a ranking factor. So obviously you can get more speed using the AMP plugin. Mm-hmm. But again, unless you're an informational site, there's really no point in doing it.
Yeah, I was reading sorry, go for it, Bridget.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if it strips out JavaScript, how does that jive with Matt Mullenweg saying we need to be using JavaScript more, and WordPress is going to be more JavaScript based?
Yeah.
Or inclusive
exactly.
or whatever.
Exactly. Well, like the AMP plugin that you shared, that's actually, that version that's in the repository is 4 months old. You have to go to GitHub to get the current one, and that gets changed every day.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, but
yeah,
thanks,
exactly. So it's definitely evolving. I've tried it on my regular SEO site. It's a real complex theme. It's coded really ugly, and then I've tried it on plain sites. And plain sites, it's less of a hassle.
Yeah.
But if you want to use AMP, you're going to have to design your main site with minimum features in order to take advantage of AMP.
Wow.
Yeah, I was reading an article in Bloomberg Business yesterday regarding some Facebook changes that have been kind of going up regarding the like button. But the part that really kind of relates to this particular topic here is probably about midway down this particular post. They were talking about how Facebook is starting to make their app work more for slower internet connections, because they're trying to get into that India market or these markets that just don't have a whole lot of bandwidth. And I think this is kind of what relates to this, is that they want to make sure that these sites load super duper fast, and that they're able to, be displayed easily and kind of, go through all of that. Well, what's interesting in this particular article is that they were talking about that on Tuesdays, they actually do what they call 2G Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, the entire building goes 2G only, and it actually doesn't have LTE or 4G or any of that stuff. All they get is the 2G internet connection speeds on their mobile devices, and they have to just deal. And
that's the day I work from home.
But that's the thing, though, is that they're saying, you know what, we got to dog food this. You have to be able to look at this thing and figure out how to use it in such a slow environment. Well, it makes perfect sense, because if you're going to build something like this using this Google AMP, well, that just means that the one image that loads up is going to take a little bit to load up. And then all that text just needs to be able to load up without any JavaScript, without any extra stuff. I mean, thank goodness we got rid of Flash, right? You know, it's like that sort of thing. So I can see where this relates. I can see where this relates.
Yeah, I think developers, they're eventually will have to embrace something like this. Does Google keep it? Who knows? They develop all kinds of things and get rid of it later. But I don't know. Developers will have to embrace it. Theme developers will have to embrace it. Plugin developers even more so, because they're the ones that put a lot of load on the themes anyway. So we'll see where it goes.
It's interesting. I say let's start a nonprofit to make everybody else's internet better. Why do we have to handicap ourselves?
Yeah. Let's all
Katie's a problem. Let's go in there and give them some more internet. I mean, what does it take to get you on more than 2G? What kind of, like, seriously, this is ridiculous.
Infrastructure.
When I was in the Army and when we were in Afghanistan,
infrastructure.
We were happy that's what's needed. 4 gigabytes or download speed. So
it's not our fault their government hasn't built infrastructure, or their private industry hasn't built infrastructure. But now I guess I'm getting political. I'm just telling you, like, I was at a baby shower this weekend. I had 1 dot and I wanted to die. Because that's how you survive the boring games, is and opening 50 presents where everybody's going, ooh, oh, that's so cute, ooh, oh.
Well, I was
going on Twitter, and I could not even get on Twitter with 1 dot.
Yeah, I was in Arizona, and I'm a T-Mobile customer, and they don't have very good coverage in that particular area, and it was slow. It was dog slow. It was so slow that, looking at little animations on various websites, I'm like, why is this taking so long to load up? Oh, it's because I'm on like 2G.
Let's build more towers, yo.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you got places just like in that article, and I posted the text from it, from Bloomberg there. You're in some countries that just don't have good internet, and they're not going to have good internet. And maybe they don't even have internet. Maybe you just have like a network that you connect to, and it's text message only, and that's it. I see value in this, but I think the problem is that we have so much, like, even just loading Google Analytics' JavaScript remotely, it would be huge for somebody that's on 2G. So it's like you're loading up all this stuff, and now here's analytics loading up, and now it's watching every single thing that you're moving on the screen, and it's sending all the data back, and you're just like, oh, I just wanted to check what time that restaurant opens or closes or whatever, and I'm on crappy internet. So I kind of get it.
Well, you don't have to worry about it because AMP rips out analytics off your page too.
What? Get out of town.
Awesome.
That makes no sense.
That's awesome.
Google want you to rip out analytics.
All your AdSense, that's also gone, by the way. All the ad platforms, all
everything that you pay Google for,
they
take off.
It's all ripped out.
Makes no sense.
But you can have a YouTube video if you add the AMP to your embed code.
Go home, Google, you're drunk. Your Panda algorithm's drunk. The 2G Tuesday, I'm sorry. I can't deal with that. I just can't. Think about how much work we have to do. You can't even do anything on 2G. Yeah. I can't even do anything on 3G.
Welcome to the life of search engine optimization.
Right, exactly.
I don't want your job, Clint. So,
geez, no way.
All right.
But thanks for coming on. That was awesome.
That was awesome. Thank you.
That's a good topic. We've gotten a really good variety of topics today, Jason.
We have. I don't even know what to call this.
Got me all riled up. And somebody said we need that in Montana. I just can't understand. Like, Japan is totally way ahead of us, and why can't we just keep building towers? We should subsidize this instead of subsidizing tobacco farming. We should be subsidizing cell phone towers. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. This is not 1984. This is 2016. Hi, Bob.
Absolutely. We have that problem in Montana. If we go to my aunt's house that's 5 hours away, we have about 300 miles of no phones, no computers. So we have to go and we have to talk and say, hey, we're leaving here now. We'll be there in 3 hours, hopefully. And that's like a road that usually gets snowed over. So.
Oh my God. I bet. Do you have a CB radio?
No, we don't have a CB, but we do have a satellite emergency phone, but that's like $50 a minute.
Yeah, that would freak me out though, not being able to communicate.
Yeah, but I mean, like we have our gas stations, and we'll be here. If we're not here, then call these people. But I had a question though about the REST API. Like, I'm not a noob, but I'm totally not like an experienced developer. Like, what in terms of impact is this going to have as far as like the average, like small to mid-sized company? I mean, are they just going to start doing, go crazy with this, or is this more for like developers? Or, I mean, and how it is, I mean, I've never even played with an API, so how does that work? Like, what is everybody like so happy about? Because I mean, I don't even have developer friends.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, APIs are great because it allows you to take content that's from a different source and bring it into your site, manipulate it, and display it in the way that you want it displayed, not using like a embed code or something like that. So, for instance, if you wanted to go and get your most recent Twitter posting, you could use the Twitter API to go out to Twitter, grab that particular posting, and display it on your site. And when a new version came out, you posted something else, it'd go back out there, grab it again, and display it. So that's where an API would come in handy. If you have a website where you're trying to track stocks, you'd go out to some stock service that has the API and pull that data in. Maps, I mean, there's hundreds of stuff. You're using API right now and you don't even know it. I
got what you glossed over there. It's like when it's like doing the OAuth kind of thing, and then I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm still. I need to like understand a little bit more of like the power. You know what I mean?
Well,
if you
Roy
guys know
Savon
articles or anything that's just been really like helpful, because I'm at that point where it's like qualified developer, and then like me, and then a noob, and so there's that like exchange that I just don't understand sometimes.
Sure.
I would definitely follow Josh412, Josh Pollock, and Roy Savon, Roy Boy 789, because they're always talking about the REST API and JavaScript, and Roy just made some kind of oh man, he used he just did some Stripe subscription plan. That on an API. Oh, here I found the tweet that has the GitHub and everything. But cool. I mean, they're constantly messing around on just if you don't want WooCommerce, you can just use Stripe with his REST API GitHub plug thing.
Cool.
I mean, they're always messing around. Like what they were saying 2 weeks ago, they're saying they're just improving on. I know there's a big conference in London just wrapped up this week, but I would definitely follow those two people on Twitter, because if they aren't answering your questions from their blog posts, especially Josh Pollock writes extensively about the REST API, then they will be leading you to other people that would be really good for you to read. Yeah, they're super excited about it too. It's not just like all boring.
Oh yeah, no, like I'm super excited, but it's like, why am I excited? So I'm just like all giddy for no like oh yeah, I can do this, but I don't really know how to do that. So, but cool, thanks.
You're welcome. Good luck with that 3G.
Oh, you have no idea. It's scary how bad it is here.
I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. When I was a kid, my uncle had a CB radio. If I lived where you are and I didn't have the internet on my phone, I would definitely have a CB radio in my car.
I'm a licensed handheld operator.
I go to handhelds.
Okay, there you go. Because there's no way. That would freak me out now. Like, just your car breaking down?
Oh yeah. That's people die.
Who's gonna call AAA?
But anyways, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob. Wow, this is like the most diverse show ever.
It should be. We've had a ton of people.
I
on
like
here.
it. And we broke 75. Your magic 75. So where's your 75 dance? Well, we might actually keep the show running.
Yup. Well, it's now 9 o'clock. Bridget, I think we need to wrap this bad boy up, right?
Yeah, we did. We definitely paid for our dinner tonight.
Yes, definitely. We definitely
Oh, you need a plug-in, maybe a death. We're solving all your WordPress blues on WP Blab. Woo!
Folks, that's it for today. Make sure you go to our website at WPwatercooler.com/WPblab and take a look at that. Also, while you're there, you can go check out the WPwatercooler.com's website, the actual site where we do stuff on Mondays at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Go check that out. And we also do a new thing that we're kind of working on here, going to be called WP Watercooler Recommends. Go check that out, where we recommend various plugins, various websites, services, supports, all those fun things. So make sure you go over and check that out. Bridget, where can people find you?
They can find me at bridgetwillard.com, and they can also find us at wordandpress.com, givewp.com, and learn some things. Come back next week and teach us.
Awesome. I'm Jason Tucker. You can find me at jasontucker.us. I blog over at wpmedia.pro, and I also do a lot of photography stuff over at jasontucker.us. So if you're a big photography nut, which I am not, but I'm getting better and better and better at it, and I do a lot of time-lapse photography. Make sure you go check those out as well, jasontucker.us/photography. Thank you, Bridget, for being on with me today. I appreciate it. All 78 of you folks that watch this thing live, I really appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your night, and we'll talk at you at 7:30, correct?
I missed you.
Oh, Thursday at 7:30.
Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific time. Be there or be square.
Yep. All right. I think my kid downstairs watching Netflix or something. So
yeah, that's what's happening
all right,
here
folks.
too.
Awesome. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.